bittersweet journey so far, right? Like not exactly the way you envisioned, but yet you're still here, right? So I guess what's the feel like coming into this fight?
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't the plan to lose to Muhammad, but everything else went to plan. I went on tough, a weight class up, just to get in the UFC, and here we are.
Is that tough to accept right away? Like, do you get down? Because again, it worked out, but do you get down like after the loss, or do you go, well, I mean, I wasn't even my weight class, and now I'm still in the UFC. Like, what's the immediate feeling after?
I mean, it sucked. The immediate feeling after getting knocked out on live television in front of all your families and friends, it really sucked. But this isn't my first sport. Like, I've taken plenty of L's before, so I knew how to bounce back from it.
Were there lessons that you took out of that fight, or is it just kind of like heavyweight MMA? You get touched, you get touched. I mean, that just happens.
No, there was absolutely lessons, like technical lessons of just keeping my hands up, and coming from other sports, you can't really imagine getting knocked out. Like I never even had the concept of losing a fight that I didn't even get a chance to respond to, and now that's something that's in my head every time I'm training. Everything I'm doing is with this idea that you only get one chance.
The move to light heavyweight, did it require any changes, or is that kind of naturally where you would be anyway?
I mean, I definitely had to clean up my diet. So I walked in the cage last fight at my natural walking around weight of 245. So that's what I walk around at. So I did have to, hire a nutritionist, get a diet, but I'm better for it.
Did you find it difficult at all, or did you find it rewarding or challenging? What did you think?
It makes me a better fighter. It makes me a little bit more pissed off and a little bit angrier, and I'm a better fighter. I'm lighter, I'm faster, but it is frustrating it makes camp different. As a heavyweight, fight camp is no different than every other day. You're eating what you want, you're doing what you want, and you're training hard. That should be every day if you're a professional athlete. But when I'm cutting weight, now fight camp means something. Now I have to eat this exact amount every single day, and it just pisses me off a little bit more.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. I guess talk about the matchup itself. How do you think you match up? What Jordan presents to you as far as stylistically?
It's an exciting matchup. He is the definition of a kill or be killed fighter. He's never even been to a third round, and I think that plays in my favor. I have a style, especially at light heavyweight, where I'm trying to push him against the wall, grind him out, and him trying to get out of there early is just going to play in my hands.
Nice. Does this feel like your UFC debut? I mean, technically you fought in that octagon, right? I mean, you've been there before, but does this feel different than last time around? Does this feel more, I guess, official or more special?
It definitely feels like a real debut, mainly just because I'm actually wearing UFC gear. Like last time they made us wear the tough gear. I don't know why that was, but I've been in here a lot, cornering Curtis, cornering Devin with Alistair. But this is the first time that I'm here for me, wearing UFC gear, so this feels like my real debut.
Nice. Last thing for me, like you said, no third rounds for Jordan. I mean, on paper it looks like it's going to be an exciting fight. I mean, what type of fight are you anticipating here?
So first and foremost, I'm coming to win. I do want to make an exciting fight, but I'm coming to win, and I realize that dragging this fight longer is in my favor. Going out there and trying to firefight with a guy who does nothing but firefight isn't really in my favor. So I'm coming out here to fight smart, but I do plan on finishing him.
Hey, Zach. How was cutting weight on a 3-hour delay at the airport?
It was horrible. I guess you guys had some kind of storm here yesterday, and yeah, I was at the airport and they just kept delaying my flight further and further and further, and I'm like I said, I'm on a very specific diet plan, so I can't eat anything at the airport. So I just had to sit there for 4 hours and just get frustrated.
Not a good time to be around you yesterday?
No, not at all. And I do feel for all the staff there, because they're not the ones canceling the flight, but that doesn't make me feel any better at the moment.
How does it feel to come back and get the win back at the Apex? You suffered your first loss here, and then now to get it back in the same octagon.
So I've fought in here 3 times now. This is like my home away from home. I lived across the hall for 6 weeks. I'm super comfortable here. I would like to get in front of a crowd eventually, but I'm comfortable here. And I like that small octagon. I like pushing people against the wall, and that small octagon makes it easier for me.
Who are some of the killers that you trained with for this camp?
So this camp, me and Devin Clark did our camps together. He fought 2 weeks ago. So mainly it was the two of us going together every single day, and it was really good.
Awesome. And then, do you have a favorite Ultimate Fighter season other than your own?
My favorite Ultimate Fighter season is the first season, and I was in like 5th or 6th grade, and at this point my parents wouldn't let me watch MMA. They thought it was, I guess there was a lot of like bad thoughts about MMA back in the day, so I used to have to hide. I used to have to sneak and watch it, but I loved it so much. With Forrest and Stefan, that is my all-time favorite season, always.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Hey, Zach, back here. I don't know if you heard, but Mitchell Seep, he got kicked off of the Power Slap house. You're obviously in a house with him. Like, were there any moments like that where you're like, this guy might be out of control?
So I was surprised that he didn't get kicked out of the Tough House. But I don't know if you guys know him or have met him, but the guy's a maniac. But he's a good fighter, and he can obviously slap the hell out of people. But I don't know what happened to him in the slap house. I don't know the details, but he was wild. He was wild in the house. They showed like a 15-second clip of him talking trash to Muhammad, but that was 24 hours a day leading up to the fight between the two of them.